Welcome, dear Yarnchix, to episode 44 of the Yarnchix Podcast. I am Mimi. I record in Berlin, Wedding, and I really like my hood, and it's multicultural and interesting vibe. It is why my Instagram account is called Liebwed, which is two words together, like Liebes Wedding, and then joined together in the middle, which means dear wedding or love wedding, and it's kind of a proclamation of my love and care for this area. I am a mother of 3 children, and we have a little adopted dog called Marie. I live in Berlin, like I said, and I work in 2 local yarn stores in Berlin in 2 very different areas of our city. So maybe you have met me there, maybe you've met me on the internet, or maybe you have visited the Yarnchix Podcast before. So I welcome you here, however you found me and this corner of the internet. This would have been a little bit of a visual intro to show and share the topics, maybe yarns or things you might have seen. I always include a tarot card at the very end of the podcast to answer a question. I haven't really thought about a question yet. That might pop up a bit later on. And I share a knit reportage. This time it will be a little medley of all the STASHVENT I have unwrapped and maybe some of the makings, which will appear in the podcast as well. I'm so excited. We had a big community swap. We were around, I think, 40 people who went through our own stash to create an advent calendar from stash to send to a friend who also would have created an advent calendar from stash and sent it to someone else. So it was kind of like a ring swap, and it's divine. I love seeing what everyone's making. It's this huge celebration of stash and creating from what we have, and it's non-capitalist, and it was a swapsy that reached as far as, well, between America, Europe, and Tokyo, you would have had quite a lot of people getting involved. Well, 40 of us, which I was super excited to organize, and I'm now happy to sew from and knit from. So you will see some of that. First things first, though, there is a massive admin task, which is why, even though it's almost dark again, I have decided to record on Sunday as promised, because our big Magic 3 make-along ended. I'm a bit sad. It's always a bit of a happy sad moment when we all kind of rush to that finishing line of creating 3 items for children in our lives or lives of nearby people. This year we had 59 entries, so I think that's exactly one more to last year. We're growing. We're making more. It doesn't matter the numbers. I just know lots of really nice people got involved and some amazing stuff was made. I'm actually going to have the difficult task now to also go through all the flat lays and decide for a top, as in like a winning top category, a winning bottoms category, a winning toy, as well as sharing a magic mending project, because there was a category where I'm knitting something for the winner. Again, from Stash, celebrating all things mended and cared for and created with Stash, or whips finished, or hand-me-downs that have been mended or kind of made to fit better. And yeah, I'm super excited to get to do that. That will happen during the week, and I think I will announce it in my vlogmas. Vlogmas season usually means there is a weekly podcast from me, which it's easier for me to kind of collect footage than edit something. I definitely don't have the time to sit and fiddle with YouTube every day. I admire those vlogmas creators who do that, but I'm definitely a bit of an editing character, and I take a lot of time, and I take a lot of time to make that, and I just wouldn't be able to bash them out daily. So you have like a weekly Adventism vlogmas treat coming to the page from me. Episode 1 and episode 2 should be up by the time this airs, so go back and check this year's Advent shows. That would have been a little medley of my Magic 3 Mile makes, and I am super busy still finishing stuff because it is the season for that. I have got a couple of presents I want to give to friends that I'm still finishing off, so I'm still at it. I guess maybe some of you are still. But I've also managed to draw a winner using random numbers, and I'm gonna show that now. Please understand that this is actually one of the hardest things for me to decide the overall winner. So I decide using randomnumbers.org or random.org, where you enter like the smallest number of the person who's taken part and the last number of the person who's taken part. And this year I actually created an Excel sheet, so all the flat lays that were completed have actually got a spot in the Excel sheet. So every maker who would have finished 3, 2, 3, 4, or I think I saw someone made 5. Nina, did you finish 5 things? Amazing. Like, you would all have your separate slot. So it's actually 58 finished creations by, I guess, around 40 makers. I think that's impressive. You guys have been so busy. And also, please understand, I'm gonna scan across Ravelry for a moment. I have got my Ravelry on the old design setting, and I will leave Ravelry as soon as they stop offering this option. So if you've got any anger and frustration with Ravelry, I'm just filming it so that I can show that I'm checking that page as well, because before they started behaving like beep beep, I was still using that place for our Magic 3 Mile chatter, and the finished object thread went up when I was still hopeful that they will keep the classic Ravelry going for those who can't actually visit the new site. But as a result, basically, they're gonna lose me. It's a sad thing. Yeah, I don't know how to say it any differently, but I've included it in this footage to show that I checked the Ravelry group. I checked the Magic 3 Mal hashtag, like Magic 3 Mal. I checked Magic 3 Mal flat lay with the number 3, as in numerologically, as well as Magic 3 Mal with the spelled word 3 in it, flat lay, because that was kind of the areas. So Ravelry, Magic 3 Mal, Magic 3 Mile flat lay written in one way, Magic 3 Mile written in another way. Those 4 places were where I checked, and then I had 2 different people email me their finished sets directly, because it was presents for someone and they didn't want to share it in a public space, and Ravelry at that point was already off the menu, so fair enough. So I checked all those places, and you're all definitely qualified and in the list. And yeah, have a look. Congratulations, Kelly. You would have seen this amazing, cute little, I'm going to put her little finished set as a picture in here. A cute little set, and I'm super excited, Kelly, that you were basically selected through random number. And yeah, well done and congratulations. All these treats, including this wavy bear, will make their way to you. I'm gonna flash some of it at the camera, but there is actually plenty of stuff. There is so much yarn and other makes and goodies that will come to you. It's a proper little treat, and I'm excited I get to send you it, Kelly. You would have all been deserving, you know that, but this time it was Kelly's turn, decided by the number. So this is amazing. Oh, I'm getting it out of the paper. Oh my god, this goes together so well. The bear likes it. So this is Fantastic Farm yarn, and it's a really sweet, loosely spun and then multicolored fiber. I really love it. I think it'll be such a treat to knit with. I was generously gifted a set of yarns as well, so I'll be using that, making something for myself, definitely. Then there was another treat from Serafina. Serafina is a shop from Portugal, and they have these natural dyed yarns that they dye themselves. This is actually Spanish merino, so really fine Spanish merino for like lace weight. And the other one is Appenzinica, so Italian. Pardon me, my nose. Italian yarn base. So that's on the yarn front, as well as, bloody hell, where did it go? This from Marisa, who is Abenia Yarns. This sweet hand spun. Absolutely love it. This is from it's like a merino wool that grows on sheep in the national park area of Serra de São Mameda in Portugal. Again, love it. This is like a treat. I was also given a skein and I've just wound it, so I can't wait to share what that will be going to. So these are bears and yarns. What else is there? I've got to put them down. It's gonna be a big box. There's this really cute little book about Mr. Button Man, which is like an adventure story, and it's from a woman who lives here in Berlin. I was generously gifted it. It's got this. It's a signed copy by Joël, and yeah, really nice little kind of stitched story. I think you would enjoy that. Anyway, that was the kind of yarny goods that I wanted to show you. However, there is more treats that will be sent out, like this amazingly hand knitted scarf by Josh Moll, who's Breiwerken, in these natural sheepy colors. It's a lace shawl, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It will go to the winner of the best top, and I have got gorgeous bags that I will fill with yarns and little treats. So there is always going to be 3 presents each for the category of, where did I put it? Ah, here. For the category of best bottoms, we have this project bag sewn locally in Berlin by a dear friend and maker who joined us. Women owe you nothing, says her embroidery. And so that will be filled with the treats, with yarny treats for the winner of the best bottoms. And then this will be filled with yarny treats and see how it's like a mole project bags, the Mary Molly pattern and the Didi Molly pattern, generously sponsored by from Cinthia. We will include yarns to create this as well, so this will go to the best toy in the best toy category. So more goods going out, and this is so gorgeous, hand knitted and designed by Josh, and I'm super excited for the 3 categories. The 4th present, the mending present, I actually have to grab a project bag. Hang on, I'll give you a little visual glimpse. Footage that I've filmed for the Adventism already. I haven't come much further. Admittingly, I haven't got much further than when I last showed it in the vlogmas, but I did complete the recent wedge. So to expect this one, if you win the Magic Mending project, I think it's going to be the last thing I announce, somewhere near Christmas, maybe in the next vlogmas. I'm sorry. I'm going to probably only finish this in 2021, but it will be sent out to you and it will be gorgeous. It's this cape, re-knitting the Isaura cape, this time using all stash. And I counted, it's got like 24 more wedges to knit to the one that I have on the needles. So there's plenty more work. I thought it would be nice to include like a little cape, either for play for your child or a child in your life, or for you as a knitter, because I think we knitters, we deserve to have our own little capes. So why not? So I'm knitting a cape. I'm knitting a cape for the best or the most prolific mender in our team. And actually I wanted to show some of my mending, so I better get a scoot on because the light is going. I'm excited, and I hope you are, for all these different prizes that I can still send out. I'm happy to start off with Kelly's big parcel. And then I'll go bit by bit and we'll leave my home and you'll be told. I will make some kind of official announcements in the time. I also wanted to show obviously what I'm currently knitting, and I had a bit of a long break with my biggest project that has been on my needles since October, because I joined the Slipstravaganza M-Kyle by Mr. West Knits, and it's on my needles and on the floor here. I absolutely adore this pattern. It's so much fun. So we started with this kind of how would you call it, like window pane part, and then it kind of went on to this other slip stitch joy, then the diamante slip stitch joy, which I finished. And now, as you might be able to tell, even with the dwindling light, I'm going for like from very, very dark, like almost black Hebridean Swarbles mix, to a browner Romanian merino to this more kind of grayish merino, and the next will be, yeah, so these two are Murka yarn, and the darker is Daughter of a Shepherd. And then after Murka, I wanted to start with this kind of lighter grey, mid-grey, which is Lana Rara. And it is all these kind of really rare Swiss mountain sheep mixed with merino, and it's really nice and soft. It's super nice. I bought it at the last festival that I got to go to and teach at, which was the Swiss Yarn Festival, and I had a really good time. I really wanted to buy a skein of the Lana Rara when I was there, so I was super happy to purchase this, and I'm now excited to start knitting it. And then the last natural color to join this shawl is the Abenia yarn that Marisa generously sent me, and that the Magic 3 Mile winner will also own. So you see, it's kind of like a fade that goes from almost blackish brown through brown and grayish to grey, and then to kind of a natural white. I think these will be really nice one after the other. I really like this very sheepy yarn, and the colors are all stash yarns. Some of these kind of, you can probably tell, I've paired with some mohair yarns, and I will just carry on using up what I have. So I'm super excited. It'll be my STASHVENT, and it's already quite big. Like, I have 120 centimeter cables on my needles, and it's massive. It's already squashed onto that. It's gonna be exciting to see. I think it's gonna be a lot of work still, but I do kind of like these long-term slow projects, so I'm excited to carry on with that, as I had lost that grey skein that I was so keen to start with. We found it behind the bed, so it must have fallen down as I was trying to like wind it. Actually, I was already getting it ready. I don't know how come I never realized what happened, where it had gone. What else is on my needles? In my kind of desperation of all the Magic 3 Mile finishing of toys, and I don't know, kind of wanting to do something different and join a troupe of makers who are making something along, I'm actually joining in with the Flash Mob Knit Along by from Cinthia. So I've only got this really little bit of her bear Tsutsu, so I'm knitting the face, and I'm really loving how it's knitting up. It's an alpaca yarn that I got years ago. It's from a Finnish farm that owns alpacas, and I got to work for my friend Eka of Tulva Yarn at this festival, Jyväskylä, in Finland, I think 2 summers ago, and as they were our neighbours, I kind of ended up buying this because I just couldn't, I loved it. I kind of loved this marled, different kind of greyish alpaca yarn. So I'm excited to knit the Tsutsu bear from that. I've just reached the point where it's going to be kind of like ear making and then face making, so I'm about 3 days behind schedule, but I don't really mind. That's just how it will be, especially with me, you know, I so wanted to sort out the Magic 3 Mile prices and stuff. Then I kind of ended up spending a lot of time at the computer doing that, and at the computer sorting out my zines, and yeah, I ended up not knitting very much in the last 2 years. Days. Feel like years, but they were only days. However, my STASHVENT is actually really getting me into sewing, so I'm going to show you some of that. I'm so excited that my STASHVENT actually holds quite a lot of fabric, and you will see in the little knit reportage at the end what kind of different surfaces and different types of fabrics they are. with the first fabric, I've now sewn a couple of things, so I'm excited to show you. I've sewn this little dress. It's basically using an old swatch where I had this kind of the back, and I'd put the top on kind of spare needles because I wanted to make this into a teddy bear sweater. And when the fabric came and the green was fitting this yarn so well, I thought, oh God, finally I can just finish this project, just get going with it and crack on. So this fabric is perfect for the skirt. And this is actually for one of our family bears. I will show you all the group of bears. This bear is called Teddy Lala. I'll introduce you to her in a minute. And I made a couple of clothes for different bears during the Magic 3 make-along. So this was a kind of a good way to melt from Magic 3 make-along to STASHVENT. And I kind of hand-stitched the bottom thing, whatever, the hem, and I used my sewing machine to put the knitting and the ruffled skirt together, but I find the stitches show too much, so I'm gonna unpick this and then stitch it by hand to make it a bit neater. So excited. And the other thing I made from the fabric are these 3 bags, because on the 1st of December, which is when I unpacked this fabric, I realized that I didn't have enough little clothes bags for the advent calendar for my kids, which all 3 of them are sharing this advent calendar. So they're taking it in turns every day to open a present. And there's at least these 3 missing. I think there's actually 3 more missing, so I might have to make more bags with more STASHVENT fabric, so I'm excited. And yeah, so I made 3, and I will add them now to the calendar now that I've got to show them to you here on this little podcast episode. Yeah, I'm super chuffed that this fabric, it just kind of goes with the other fabrics. I'll be showing their advent calendar as well as mine in the vlogmas, so just have a look. So that is kind of my first STASHVENT completions, or well, almost completed on the skirt, on the dress. Oh, and I wanted to show you some more teddies, so I'm gonna carry on with this last light before I'm gonna check my running order and then probably scoot off. First of the bears I need to introduce you to was actually the first bear I owned. An artisan bear from my friend Fran, who creates beautiful handmade mohair teddy bears. They're kind of artisanal, so they're not for children for play, but for us adults. And Ginger arrived in 2018, I think. She gifted me this, and it was on my birthday, and it was perfect. I absolutely love Ginger. And during Magic 3 Mal, I knitted her teddy version of the Plover cardigan, which is a finished object that I knitted myself. I wonder if I've shown that yet. Maybe I should get it and put it on, show you. Team Plover cardigan. Plover cardigan is designed by Jacqueline Cieslak, and I knitted it using Muka yarn. I think I probably spoke about it a lot in the last podcast, so you can always go back. I absolutely loved it. I was just knitting away on it. I think I started at the end of August and it was finished early in November, so I was literally, for me that was relatively fast. I love the Halbpatent, we say in German. It's like demi brioche or something, so it's not so yarn consumption rich as like a normal brioche cardigan or sweater. And I absolutely love these sleeves. The yarn is gorgeous, and I'm super chuffed that I managed to make a miniature version from my swatch. I kind of do this, this will be counting as a little swatch story. I kind of try and use the swatch and kind of make something else from the swatch rather than just having a swatch and storing it. I mean, some swatches will always be like that, but there's a couple of swatches still on with like their path still ahead of them. I still need to make something else than them just being a swatch from them, but this is one of the ones where I'm super excited. So now we both have a Plover, and Ginger super appreciates it. Like, that's all she wears. Her other friend in the knitting, her other friend, mohair friend, is this sweet tiny little bear. It's Lavande. She is also a woolen-hearted bear and was a present from my friend Fran. And I used linen from Wollen Berlin to sew her a little overall, these kind of linen dungarees with these kind of nice baggy trousers. I used mask ribbon elastic, so the really kind of soft ones. They're very stretchy. It's really good for pulling on and off. And yeah, I was super excited. So this cardigan and these trousers were a set together with this gorgeous little crochet project. And I posted it as part of my Magic 3 Mile flat lay drive at the very end, because I made this kind of toy flat lay. This is actually a little post box, and here at the top you can kind of post in your wish list for Santa, and then they can pull it out. See, there's some in there from my family, from my kids. And I still need to add the top with kind of like a little ribbon to make it into Christmas tree decoration, and it will be hanging on that tree ready for Santa to pick out the wish lists to see what's going on. Super love this little post box, and crocheted it in kind of a frenzy, translating the Danish pattern by Helle Juncker, who is Tilnord, I think that's how you pronounce it. And she generously will let me share it in our Advent zine. So, oh my god, I'm so excited. So I'm not just translating it for myself, I'm also translating it for her, so she can share it on her Ravelry page or Payhip, wherever she wants to kind of make this available. And the translation will be kind of typed up in my typewriter style for the Advent zine that I'm currently working on. So excited, because I love this little post box. there you would have also seen kind of footage and my photographs of this set to kind of conclude the Magic 3 Mile and probably most of the knitting and making of the podcast. This bear again is a woolen-hearted bear, and Fran generously made them for the winner of the Magic 3 Mile. Fran is one-hearted, so please check out her page and her podcast as well as her Patreon. She is amazing and I absolutely love her teddy creations. There's so much character in this little face. They're definitely smiling at you today and saying thank you for visiting and yeah, thank you for being part of Magic 3 Mile. It means the world to me. I'll see you all for Magic 3 Mile again next year, okay? 1st of May, it's a date for us, and I think I'll make it run until 1st December again. I guess it's going to be as crazy as this year, next year, so we'll see about that. But I'm excited. This bear and lots of gifts will be traveling to the UK probably this week, so for early Christmas treat for Kelly. Last but not least, one of the categories I always talk about is my mending. And I have some little footage to share. Well, mainly that was outtakes and things, and since having mended my hand knit socks, see, I really like that. That's kind of so drizzly. So on the heel and on the front I had to mend, and since mending them, something else gave way. Look, oh my god, it's 2 holes. And I mended on the side and here, so I guess the strain of this mend, you know, it kind of being fixed there, the strain kind of, hello camera, yeah, having mended that part, it kind of must have strained a new area. Where's the camera? Press it back. So that camera is definitely too empty and gone. I'm gonna just film, excuse the mess in the background, I'm just gonna quickly film here to say that I will have to carry on mending this sock now that sadly it has also gone in a new spot, but I will carry on. See there, 2 more holes for my mending, and then I will obviously share my result. I think I might use different yarn or might use the same yarn. I used Mominoki fin wool in order to finish that last mend, and I'm hoping to carry on mending all of the other socks that are in queue for mending, so watch the space for that. Generally light is going, and I really wanted to come here and record the podcast so that I could share the Magic 3 Mile overall winner with the random numbers, which I did. And I wanted to show you my teddies. I still haven't introduced you to Lala Peaches properly, but as the dress is not finished, I'll just keep that till next time, or the vlogmas or something. I hope you enjoyed this. smaller episode. Kind of enjoy that. I don't enjoy the technical hiccups, and I apologize for that. I can't change my non-wizardry when it comes to technical stuff. I will try my best with the editing. I always have fun with that, so I will try and add in some of the photos and footage that I've taken across the time, including the ever so magical STASHVENT, which will be visual here and represent for all of us STASHVENT girls and boys and women and ladies, and for all of us STASHVENT makers. You will see some of my unwrapping. I still have to unwrap today's, so I've brought them here. It's the 13th of December, and this is my STASHVENT from Caitlin. Caitlin is actually in Berlin, so I had the mega treat to have it hand delivered to work, and it was really nice to see Caitlin there in person. What's in this? I kind of like these small squishy ones. Look at this. Ooh, really dark green. And some like pipe binding, you know, the one that you can put into like pillows to make nice edges. More teddy clothes. I love that. Look, what cute fabric. Thank you so much, Caitlin. And this, I think, is like a dark merino. It's really nice. I've had an idea. I actually met up with my friend Catherine, who is Bum und Franzen, and we went for a walk today, and she's knitting these gnomes, and I thought with the thicker DK yarns, I might join her in knitting these little kind of gnomelins, and it would obviously be a bit bigger with the thicker yarns that I have, but you know, like kind of that size, but I might enjoy doing that. Thank you so much, Caitlin. And I have an advent calendar from my sister. Every day I get a little treat from her, so I'm being spoiled. Ooh, for warm feet. That would be good, because I did have cold feet today when we went walking. And from my friend Vibeke. Yeah, I've got 3 advent calendars. But that is chance. Like, both Vibeke and my sister surprised me, and STASHVENT was something that I organized and I was really excited about. Ooh, mini yarns. Look at these 2 minis. And a sweet tea. Thank you, Vibeke. I really love having these minis and things and treats to make me think of my friends. Yeah, have a very happy rest of your Sunday. I'm gonna edit and upload, and I will get my Etsy shop sorted for that new zine. So thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was really lovely to record a podcast with all its technical madness. I'm gonna pull a card all about how the Christmas season can stay relaxing and how we can put the tasks aside and rest up, because I think I need that. I've just given myself this task again for editing, so I think I will be in need of a reminder how to put my feet up afterwards. Have a really good evening. Bye.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see from up here.
was very well timed. So the Fool is to remind oneself of play and joy, and I think my kid watching a funny film and laughing, that should remind me of how I can put my feet up and just spend some time with them. See you later!
From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me, we're meant to be